Yes. Huh? Come on. Yes, yes, yes. George Benson Show, baby. Come on. Got a great show for you tonight. Uh-huh. We're talking about Black Wall Street. Okay. Give you a little bit of that. And then we're going to bring out the man, Chucky Chuck. Huh? Okay. Straight from the Witness Protection Program. Yeah, he's lining things up for this Springfield Day, June 28th. So it's all good. Old school flavor, old school uh, affair, if you will, that type of thing. So I got Chuck in the second half of the show. In the first half, like I said, we're going to talk about Black Wall Street. And it was an incredible, event back in 1921, which it took place, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Very prosperous situation that was going on for blacks, African Americans, and everyone said, "Yo, man, this is not Black History Month. Every day is Black History Month. It doesn't have to be February. They designated a month just for us. They put aside 28 days. Huh? We don't even get 31. Never mind 31 day. We don't even get 30 days. 28 days. What's that about? Huh? Come on now. So yeah, so any day, every day, you're black, it's Black history. So yeah, Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was people were doing big things, big business there in 1920. Huh? 1921. Let me show you, give you a little taste of what was jumping off back then. This is right before the Depression. They had 600 businesses. It was in a 35 block radius. That's a little bit over like a mile and a half, almost 2 miles if you count in city blocks, right? 600 businesses, 30 grocery stores, 2 movie theaters, 21 churches, a lot of churches is all good, and 21 restaurants, hospital, a bank, post office, your regular business type situation. But yeah, this is Black Wall Street that they call it. Hey, Karen. And she's calling me Georgie now. My aunts used to call me that, Georgie, Porgy, you know. So what's up, Karen? Karen Biden from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, on the check-in. Always great to have you here, Karen. And yeah, so look at all these beautiful black men. Uh, all businesses decked out, suit and tie, tuxes, and holding it down. And let me show some other pictures uh, that they were doing their thing back then, just on the regular, how people were living. And then everything changed, and it was a. I got a little clip I want to share with you. I want to show you how prosperous, how good things were, and then there was an incident that jumped off, which turned the tide, and they gave these racist, white people in the town that hated on us anyways, like what that scene in Rosewood, uh, where John Cheatham, they're driving, and they're talking about, the cops, or how, you know, he got a piano, huh? How Don Cheadle had a piano. What's that about? Yeah, he got a piano. Yeah, but you're not supposed to have a piano. The white boy said, "Well, you ain't got a piano. You can't play anyway." So it's a hell of a thing. But yeah, this is Black Wall Street here, and yeah, they were up and running, doing their thing, and as I said, it's just so unfortunate, man, that they got caught up. Yeah, what up? Got Sedan, the God of Sound, on a check-in. Yo, back. Yo. What's good, Sedan? Ain't no doubt. Yeah, B, it's all good. Talking about Black Wall Street and what non-cipher, no doubt. That's what's up. Yeah, B. And I want to play this clip, and it's 10 minutes long, roughly 10 minutes. But check it out, absorb it, watch it. It's heavy, and then I'm gonna talk a little bit about it, and then bring out Chuck, and Chuck's gonna you know uh, head up the rest of the show and talk about Springfield Day, and then our guest for this year, who he has, he'll let us know. He'll let us know. I don't, want to. Yesterday and tonight. That's when he's going to do it. Yeah. So, he's got it in the mix, in the loop, in the smash, as we say, and he'll break it down. And let's speak truth. Sedan says, no doubt, we speak truth to power always. That's all I represent: positivity and truth, no doubt. Peace and love, for sure. But yeah, I wonder. You know what? Before I get into this clip, you know what? Always not troubled me, but that daylight saving time. What's up with that? Huh? Does anybody know what's really up with that daylight savings time? Why do we have to put the clock ahead and back? Everybody gets fucked up behind it. Everybody's late. People are twisted. You know what I'm saying? You're hanging out. The next thing you know, it's an hour. You think it's 2 o'clock, and then they tell you it's 1 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? You're leaving it. It's a mess. Who started that? Who invented that shit? What is that all about? Does anybody know? Save God's time longer in the sun. Yeah, but then when you put it back, Sedan says save God's time longer in the sun. I hear you and I feel you and all that, but it's just, is it necessary? I think Trump said he was going to do away with it or whatever. Trump is, talking about Canada, it's Mexico, some fucking crazy shit he was saying or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to share this clip with you right now, and it's a breakdown all about everything that you need to know about Black Wall Street. You understand what I'm saying? And it's a hell of a thing, but here it is.
Greenwood, Oklahoma, 1921. The north side of Tulsa was a prosperous community, exclusively black, because Jim Crow laws prohibited Negroes from living in white neighborhoods, where it was said more than 3,000 Ku Klux Klan members resided in the area. At that time, there were countless all-black communities, like Greenwood, scattered throughout the U.S., 60 in Oklahoma Territory alone. Greenwood, however, was the jewel of Negro America. Though white Tulsans called it Little Africa, Booker T. Washington gave it the name we know it as today, Black Wall Street. And it was the wealthiest black community in America, where black men and women came to pursue the American dream. It boasted black-owned banks, pharmacies, grocery stores, movie theaters, restaurants, churches, newspaper publishing, law offices, a bus company, its own school district, where the average student wore a uniform with a suit and tie, a business college, a hospital with an entire black staff, and an internationally acclaimed surgeon. Black millionaires, which Greenwood was known to have had more millionaires residing there than the entire United States combined. And of the only 2 airports in the state of Oklahoma, one of them was for the half-dozen private airplanes owned by its black oil tycoons. To top it off, the minimum wage and living standard of a resident of Black Wall Street far exceeded that of the average white citizen of Tulsa. But on May 30th, 1921, all that changed. Dick Rowland, a shoeshine boy, entered the elevator in the Drexel building to use one of the only few colored bathrooms in downtown Tulsa. On the top floor, Sarah Page, a 17-year-old, a white elevator operator, began operating the elevator when it lurched, causing Roland to stumble. He bumped into Sarah, and she screamed. Roland, knowing what Frederick Douglass had penned as the truth with regards to the treatment of black men in America, to be accused was to be convicted, and to be convicted was to be punished. In this case, punishment, when it came to the accusations of a white woman, meant death, and knowing her scream was a likely death sentence, young Roland ran away. He was later seized and apprehended with the intent of being lynched. Word of a black man raping a defenseless white girl spread throughout the Tulsa area. Dozens and then hundreds, until a mob of over 2,000 white men gathered at the county courthouse demanding justice. But justice for what? Sarah Page wasn't assaulted. Her clothes weren't ruffled. And though her story wavered during questioning, she ultimately affirmed she was not harmed. Moreover, she refused to sign a statement saying that she had been raped. But don't let the facts get in the way of a false accusation of a black man who needed to be put in his place at the end of a rope. The Tulsa Tribune reported,
"A Negro assaults a white girl.
And later,
To lynch Negro tonight."
with no basis in fact for the allegations of rape, the mob persisted in their demand for justice of a white girl who emphatically stated that no injustice had been done. Walter White of the New York Evening Post wrote,
Chief of Police John A. Gustafson, Sheriff McCullough, Mayor T.D. Evans, and a number of reputable citizens, among them prominent oil operator, all declared the girl had not been molested, that no attempt at criminal assault had been made. Victor F. Barnett, managing editor of the Tribune, stated that his paper had since learned that the original story that the girl's face was scratched and her clothes torn was untrue.
and there you have it. Fake news. But the damage had already been done, and the wheels were set in motion. Armed black World War I veterans were among the less than 100 members of the Greenwood community who came to prevent another lynching of a black man, as thousands had been lynched since the generation of Reconstruction. A verbal confrontation led to a shot being fired, triggering what would soon become the most bloody racial conflict in American history. Some 500 members of the white mob were armed and deputized by city officials, and those who didn't own weapons looted stores to obtain guns and ammunition along the way. Thousands of angry white men descended upon Little Africa, as a few white families provided sanctuary to those fleeing from violence. Over the course of 24 hours, the mob looted, murdered, and razed the wealthiest black city in America to the ground. Eyewitness testimony stated a dozen or more planes circled the black area, dropping burning turpentine balls over the city of Greenwood, and firing bullets at black residents young and old, gunning them down in the streets. It was the first and only time Americans used planes to attack and kill its own citizens, as it destroyed an entire city. Authorities engaged in a concerted effort to prevent help from arriving until considerable damage was done, by cutting off communication, requesting help, blocking transportation ways of firefighters and ambulances, and even preventing the Red Cross from coming in earlier to help the injured and terrorized community.
As they passed the city's most traveled street, they held both hands high above their heads, their hats in one hand as a token of their submission to the white man's authority. They will not return to the homes they had on Tuesday afternoon, only the heaps of ashes, the angry white man's reprisal for the wrong inflicted on them by the inferior race. Tulsa Tribune.
Following the massacre, insurance companies refused to compensate the residents, though the city and its officials were found negligent in preventing it. Decades of silence about the terror, violence, and theft passed. There were no convictions for any of the charges related to the murders or violence. Not one white person was ever held responsible for these crimes, though dozens of black men were indicted for inciting a riot. Government and city officials not only failed to invest and rebuild the once thriving Greenwood community, but blocked efforts to do so, and even actively sought to appropriate their land. The crime wasn't acknowledged by the city or the state of Oklahoma for over 70 years, rarely mentioning it in history books, classrooms, or even in private. Most residents grew into middle age, completely unaware of what had taken place. Even a report detailing the history of Tulsa's fire department from 1897 to 2017 made no mention of the massacre. And on that Memorial Day weekend, June 1st, 1921, Greenwood, Oklahoma, was brought to an abrupt end. Black Wall Street was wiped off the map. 300 African Americans murdered, possibly more. Thousands injured. More than 10,000 left homeless. 40 city blocks burned to the ground, and the few homes left were completely looted. The Tulsa Real Estate Exchange estimated property losses amounting to the equivalent of more than $32 million in today's money. Unbeknownst to most, Tulsa's Black Wall Street wasn't the only black town to be ethnically cleansed in America. It wasn't the only city forgotten, nor was it the only black town where no one was ever arrested, prosecuted, or where victims were never compensated. Time has passed, memories have faded, and survivors have died, taking the knowledge of not only how the cities were destroyed, but arguably even more tragic, the knowledge of how these countless all-black towns were built. Can a biblical blueprint be extrapolated from what we found? That is indeed our challenge, to cooperate, coordinate, and collaborate in order to turn our desolate neighborhoods into thriving communities and build them up by utilizing the keys to economic and societal development. Let us rediscover, let us reunite, and let us rebuild a new Black Wall Street. Blown to a hood near you.
Wow, incredible. I mean, that's it right there. You know, unfortunate, sad story that was Greenwood, Black Wall Street, over 600 businesses and over 40 blocks, and I got a little choked up there. I'm sorry, excuse me. And it was thriving. Over 600 businesses that they had, they were thriving, and jumped off on May 21st, 1921, and I see a sedan is saying that real gangster shit, stuff that in the government is still trying to cover it up. America's good at covering it up, he says. And Karen also points out hidden history is repeating itself with this government, which is unfortunate. They're right. And it's just, it makes you think. I mean, we've been going through it for a minute, and people wonder why we beef so much and why blacks we always complaining. And we've been through it, man. We've been through it and still going through it. I want to welcome it to the show, Kim Roper. Welcome, Queen. Welcome. We're just going over some stuff to Black Wall Street and just looking at things, man. And What's going on, Lady Miss? Lady Miss in the house from the Ground Up Productions. God bless you. She's representing as always. She wants to know where Chucky Chuck is at. You know, Chucky Chuck's in the house. I got him. You know, for getting ready to bring him on now, and then we're gonna talk that talk. But I also wanted to, you know what? It's like when you got Morgan Freeman doing a voiceover for your piece, you know it's heavy. You know it's deep. You know Morgan's probably the most like celebrated voiceover celebrity ever, outside of James Earl Jones. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's heavy. Yeah, Karen's on point. She says 8:30, Miss. Yeah, Lady Miss just comes in right away barking. Where's this and where's that? You know what I'm saying? Lady Miss is ready to take over take over the show. She does it. She commands that. It's all good. Hey Karen, thanks for the reminder. So yeah, it's like that. But yeah, Chucky Chuck's in the building. No question about that. He signed in early, thank God, because Chuck, what did you send the email? I'm like, oh. I said, Lamont, I said, let me send it to you right now. I sent it to him like in 8 different places and shit. Matter of fact, I had a delivery uh, boy run over to his crib and give him the link and shit. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? It's all good like that. But yeah, so yeah, that Black Wall Street, man. And like I said, it was thriving, thriving. They were owning some beautiful homes, beautiful businesses, and show this car. This one car was just whoa. I love those cars back in that era, back in the 30s, 40s, and 20s and shit. They don't build them like this no more. But yeah, this is the hood. Morgan says, coming to a hood, yeah, Wall Street forever. Uh, there's one picture there. Where's that automobile? I seen before. Let me see where that's at. They got this one over here. And after the white people were through burning down and destruction and destroying, this is what it was left. You had this beautiful, thriving community here, right, in the street, the businesses and stuff. We were even marching and shit, and then this is like the aftermath. On May 31st, brother goes into an elevator to go upstairs to relieve himself. Shoe shine cat, he was working his stuff, and they only had the Jim Crow laws, segregated laws and stuff like that. And he bumped into a white lady. Yeah, huh? He bumped into a white lady. And she was a girl, 17. Something happened with the elevator and she screamed. And that was it. That was basically all she wrote. Lady Miss says, sorry, I be talking a lot. That's why I have a show. I can't help it. Yeah. And then Eddie OJ's in the house. Welcome, Eddie. So, hey, Miss, I'm going to call Ray and tell him you're not my sister anymore. I had to fire Miss. I still love her though, OJ. OJ said that. OJ, no doubt. Welcome. Ed got jokes. Ed could be a stand-up comedian, no problem. He got it like that. His time, everything is on point. And he's prolific. That means he knows how to lay it down. Yeah, but this is the aftermath of what happened with Black Wall Street. And it's sad. It really is. And in the early decades of the 1900s, Durham acquired national reputation for entrepreneurship. Businesses owned by African Americans lined Paris Street. Among them were NC Mutual Insurance Company, moved to Paris 1906, led by John Merrick. Okay, they're just breaking down the different businesses from Black Wall Street. It's just giving you a little rundown, a little bit of history about what it was about. This is a bad ride here. Look at that, and they were sharp. I don't even know if this was Sunday, if they were going to church or not. But that's a bad vehicle. They don't make them like this anymore. Those type of vehicles. But yeah, and yeah, like I said, a 19-year-old young man, Richard Dawson, bumped into that young lady, 17-year-old. Something insignificant as that, of course, all that destruction. And white people just lost their minds that he raped her and all this other stuff. He violated her, and it was absolutely nothing that jumped off. They proved it, and yeah, uh, Eddie O. Jam reading some of the comments. You got to be on point when you got crew in here like this, Lady Miz and Karen and Kim and everybody and Eddie. Karen said phone works both ways. She's interjecting. Eddie was talking about, he's telling me that Lady Miss doesn't call anymore. It's okay though, he says. Then Karen says phone works both ways, Eddie OJ. She's got to interject as well. It's all good. Yeah, so it's a hell of a thing. But what I want to do now, I don't know, is that Chuck was just in the room. He just dipped out. I was going to bring him on. I don't know what happened with Chuck. He was just here. He came more early. I was in here at around 7:10. Chuck checked in. I said, okay, good, man. We got Chuck on. Oh, there he is. Okay. Chuck checked out because we know he's in the witness protection program. You feel me? So you got to go and check his, and see if everything is everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. So he checked out. He checked back in. Let me get him now, man, while he's here. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to wrap it up here with the Black Wall Street, and with Karen interjecting and Eddie OJ going in like he does. It's all good. And Lady Miz, she comes in and takes over. Just I had Ray on. I had her husband, the other half of from the ground up, and she was just like, "Yo, like say ask Ray, ask about this story. Tell Ray that." I'm like, "Damn, okay." You know what I'm saying? She just jumped all over it and over me, and just it was all good though. It was all love. You know what I'm saying? But that's just her way. Her producer skills or direction, and she just comes in and hey, it's accent this and da 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 da. I'm like, damn, okay. Well, who hired Karen as Miss Lawyer? Damn, where my shotgun at? Yeah, see, uh, uh, Chuck, technical difficulties with Chuck. That's what they're saying. Let me, you know what? Without further ado, all right, I'll wrap it up with like Black Wall Street. We already know exactly like unfortunately what happened. Like I said, I never got this in school, and no parts education that they filled me in on that kind of thing. Like I did the show last week about Bass Reeves, the first black lawman in the Wild Wild West, and it was a very informative show. And I didn't learn about any of this stuff uh, in school and later on in life, and then just really recently, he just stumbled upon this great man, and he was great. 4,000 arrests, 20 kills. He killed 20 people in the line of duty, huh? And that's like without having to really like fuck people up, man. Just calling them out of name, calling them a nigga. Because that happened in the Wild West. But hey, it's a hell of a thing. But yeah, so Bass Reeves, and tonight we talk about Black Wall Street. Doesn't have to be Black History Month, February, that kind of thing. But without further ado, the Dominican Republic. Come on, mommy, I'm busy. I'm busy now. Come on, mommy. WhatsApp, unbelievable. But yo, uh, let's bring out Chucky Chuck because he'll check out. He'll just dip out in a heartbeat. No technical anything like that. But let me get this picture off, and let's bring out the producer extraordinaire, the man, huh? Chucky, Chuck, Rap-O-Matic, huh?
But you the man, George.
What's good,
Sorry,
Chuck? What's good? What do I call you, Lamont, Chucky, Chuck? I know
whatever you
you
want.
as Lamont,
Just
huh?
call me, man. Call me, whatever you call me.
No doubt.
Just
Good to see you, brother. No doubt.
yeah.
Fresh dipped as always. You know
I'm trying,
it's
brother.
spoken season now.
Listen, I'm trying the best I can. You know, we're getting ready for Saturday, June 28th. This one is
No
special.
doubt.
This one is special to me. I call it just a day in Springfield Park. Um, I'm doing it by
I like that.
I'm doing it by myself this time. That's one thing that's special. And I'm inviting all the old school cats that I grew up with over there, like Ultrasound, Eminem Production, Kilowatt, the rest of the Parker Brothers, DJ Bobo, Funk Machine, T-Bird, who I discovered in his band, and one of the fastest, nastiest DJ you want to see.
No doubt.
Unbelievable. Uh, T Production. I want to see all the old school cats, Tony T, all of them. Bring them back out, bring them on the stage, and show them their flowers now, as underground. But we had a lot of fun. When people talk about 231, I really wanted to do this in 231 Park, but they didn't let us do it in 231 Park, so we chose Springfield. But when you talk about 231 Park, you got to know the real history. The first DJ to come out in 231 Park was Reggie Martin, Kendu brother, rest in power, and we played. And we wasn't on the wall. We got it from the pole, how they used to do it. And then Bronx Style Owl came out. And if you know anything about 231, you know about Dave, the dance master, Bridget
Is
up in
that
Hustle.
Bello? Is that Bello? Is that Bello?
No,
231 or is that a different?
this is 231 school in the park is 231.
Or
That's
is
where the
that
happy
called
was.
Montebello?
No, Monty
Is
Bello's
that Monte?
down. No, sir.
That's not
Monty Bello,
231 and Montebello is two different. Okay.
yeah, different location.
So break
231
that
Park.
down. Break that down. Make that, make me understand what that is.
Okay. 231 Park is in between Springfield Park and Montebello. But Montebello was further down by Springfield High School. But 231 Park was the popping park. It rocked. But Montebello was the mega park where you get down and show everybody who you was and what you was. But 231 Park, we had so much fun there. The dancing, the handball, the playing the music, the DJ. It was everything. It was everything. And you get to, you practice your skills before you go to Montebello Park, or before you hit the BG Manor, or before you hit Owen Center, or the Family, or Knights of Columbus, Christ the King. These are all the places that I performed at. In my house, 4-story house, even Baby Doll in Far Rockaway, Five Town. If you don't know nothing about hip hop back then, this is our hip hop back then. We tore the place down, all these different places. Had a guy named Kid Flash, T-Bird, Kilowatt, Bronx Style Owl. These were the guys who was hanging out. And if you wanted to, we didn't have no van. Kenny G was sorry. We go to Rochdale and come back with 2 vans to get us where we need to go. And we had a ball back then. So I'm trying to bring back the magic in Springfield Park. We're gonna have Ray Vaughn and Johnny Wall from Harlem. We're gonna have the albino twins. They bring in a band also. The Clientele Brothers, the Clientele Cartel, Eddie OJ, my man. Almighty Force. Oh man, Mikey D, Lotto Picasso. Woo, Silver Fox, MC Inequity. Oh, the Queen, Lady Miz, definitely. Miss Knockout. Who I miss? DJ Divine.
Lot
Kent,
Picasso, Lady Razzmatazz.
there you go. We're gonna have a 20
Yeah.
by 20 stage. The stage is gonna be 20 by 20 with the sound, state of the art
DJ
sound.
Divine.
But the thing is this: we're not gonna hear that the sound wasn't this or that. We got a professional.
Sedan, the God of Sound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be hot, man. And then you're gonna have me, Chucky Chuck. I'm
No
gonna
doubt.
perform.
No doubt. No doubt.
So this is a special one. I'm really putting my foot in this one. And right now, we're talking to Orange Juice Jones. I saw you walking in the rain. We're talking
I
to
love
Melba
that
Moore,
jam.
and we're
He
talking
said,
to
"Don't touch that coat.
yeah, and
Don't touch that coat."
we're talking
Yeah,
to Rough Edges. No more shopping spree, no more late night creeps. So we're talking to a few people. We're gonna have somebody, and even if we don't have somebody, we're gonna bring Lenny Vardo, flying him in from California, bringing Van Silk, you and Van Silk, flying him from Florida, you and Van Silk on a host, and we're gonna have a ball, man. We're gonna have Lamika cooking the food for the hood stars. You know what I'm saying?
listen,
We're gonna do the damn thing, man.
Lenny's crazy. Lenny in the
Yeah.
comedy world, you say crazy. That's a good thing. Trust and believe. That's a funny man. I
Oh
know when
God.
we were back in the day when we was at Nefertiti's, when we had you had a what's his name? My
Spaceman.
man.
Spaceman.
Yeah. But we had well Face, Mustafa was gonna fuck Face up,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
That
of that shit that he was talking about
was,
your
yeah.
girl, if I got on her titties are so big, the dude was sitting right up front. And he didn't know, Face Man didn't know that his girl was right there. He said,
Yeah,
"Damn,
yeah.
baby, your titties are so fucking big. You know, I fuck you on the floor with on the rug. Your titties get carpet burns."
Yeah. Spaceman was
Remember
crazy.
that? And the
Yeah.
dude got up like, "Yo, B, check this out. I'm gonna see you outside in a minute." Mustafa had to Mustafa had to calm that shit down. Yo, we
Yeah.
in Sugar Hill. We uptown, man. That shit is, you know what I'm saying? They don't
It
get down like that.
was crazy. It
And
was crazy.
Mustafa was like, yo, man, let me tell you. He said, that dude, Mustafa, yo, if that motherfucker, man, if that was me and my crew back in the day, we used to ride with the axes under the seats. We would have fucked that. I'm like,
It was
hey,
crazy.
all,
So
that's all.
as I said, I want to bring back the old 231 to Springfield. Now in 231, when we was coming up in 231, there was a family called the Ickies. The Ickies were like 22 brothers and sisters. And every jam
Damn,
they have a fight. They don't fight you
damn.
fair. They all jump.
Hmm.
So I want Ickies out there. I want to see Frankie D. I want to see all the cats that, man, just bring back the magic. That's what we're trying to do.
Right. And it's an old school affair. Let the people know that it's peace, man. It's love. It's about going out and having a good time. It's going out and about enjoying the affair. It's a
Mm-hmm.
summertime, old school joint. You know what I'm saying? And the food is good. The drinks are good. The nutcrackers and all other stuff that they're serving and whatnot. But the main thing is the entertainment. Is what who's the production? Is this LB production?
Now, this is Chucky Chuck Entertainment.
It's Chucky Chuck Entertainment, not LB. Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah, I worked for LB for a lot of years when we were at the Cotton Club with Phyllis Yvonne, the great Phyllis Yvonne Stickney, and on a weekly basis, Chuck was doing his thing in the producer seat, wearing a producer hat. Shit, Jim Brown, Ruby D, Ozzie Davis. I mean, that was on a regular. That was a weekly basis. What got me was when Jim Brown walked up in that piece. Lord have mercy. And Phyllis, man, that's who she, used to roll and rock with. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Phyllis Yvonne Stickman. Great, great, great.
Yeah,
I
I
remember
was trying to get out there, but she's gonna be tied up. She's in Little Rock that weekend. She said so. She's not gonna make it.
that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Who else
yeah.
is did you talk to Melissa, Miss Morgan?
I wanted to bring Melissa back. I really wanted to bring her back, but I'll hold off on Melissa. I'll hold off on Melissa for something else. For something else. That's what I'll do.
I know when you talk to the Force MDs with
Mhm.
Stevie D Lundy, he was with it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now
See, but a lot of these people they fail to realize that this is a free jam, and I'm not looking for if you had a name, a hit record, or something like that. I'm not looking for you to do it for nothing. but you can't, rob the whole bank. It's a free jam. It
Right.
was really money you made. This is coming out of my pocket, and some of the artists should get paid. And I don't have no problem with paying some of the artists, but some of the artists they really think they get more than what they're worth, and that's not going to work with me. I'm not mad at their prices. It's just that some things are not going to work with me. That's all. That's how it goes.
Fair enough.
Because
Fair enough.
if I was making money at the door, yeah, you get your price. You go get what you want. But this is a free deal.
So if you
That's how
say
it goes.
if you had sponsors, if there was some
Oh yeah,
sponsors behind it, then
everybody
that's
get
a
a check.
different thing.
Everybody get a check. Everybody would get a check if I had sponsors. You know, I was close to a deal with Pepsi Cola. They backed out, and somebody else backed out. So, it is what it is. I'm doing it my way, my thing. Everybody can do it their way. Chucky Chuck gonna do it his way, and this is my way of doing it. Having fun with it, bringing the old school people back, and let's work. Let's put it
No
down.
doubt. Because when I
Hmm.
first came around, like after I haven't spoken to you years. I told you the story. When
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see you on Facebook and I say Chuck rap. I said that motherfucker look like Lamont. I said, yeah, I was twisted. I'm like, that's. I seen Lee. That's when I knew. I said, oh shit, that's Lamont. I said,
yeah,
fuck, who the fuck? I don't know who the fuck Chucky Chuck motherfucker is, but that's Lamont. I knew
yeah,
that. All right.
yeah.
And when I got out there, I heard the music, DJ Divine, big ass fucking speakers. I'm like, boom, down the block. I was on 147 and I crossed over and I came up Springfield Boulevard over there. And the music, I was like, it was like before the shit jumped off, they had
Mhm.
it warmed up. But
Well,
yeah, it was a hell of an event, man. It was beautiful.
so
Everything was on the money, on the one.
I brought Divine in because me and Divine go back 44 years. We go back
Okay.
from 77, 78 Fantasia. And to me, if you never got a chance to play on Infinity Machine sound system, it was amazing because that's like a record deal for me. You play with the big boys. Everywhere I went, he put me on. You can't beat that, man. You can't beat that. That to me was the greatest thing. Even his partner Goody didn't like rapping. He didn't want to put nobody on. But Divine put me on wherever he
Uh-huh.
was at, whether by myself or with the Rap Medical. He put us on, and I always will bring him any part of the thing in music that I do. He will always be down because that's my man, 100 grand, and his boy Ken Do also. That's my man. I would love to have seen the battle of Ken Do and T Bird. That was the battle. I would like to have promoted that. That'd have been something to see. Because both of them boys was nasty as hell. Boy, they knew their turntables, man. We took
Okay.
T Bird up. We took T Bird up to the Bronx with the Parker brothers playing with Theodore. Theodore had to watch him get down. That to me that was his highest feat. If you ever talk to T Bird, he don't participate in nothing no more. But you ask him what was his highest feat when Theodore seen him pick up the needles. The man was so awesome. But ask anybody about T Bird who's in that era, they will tell you how nasty that boy was. And I would love to see that Kendu and T Bird. Kendu was in his prime and T Bird was in his prime. It was awesome, man. And I found
You
him in
know
the
what I love?
basement. That
Say it again.
I found T Bird in the basement.
Oh, work. But you know that remember that movie Juice with Pac and
Hmm.
they were doing with Latifah the auditions for the DJs and shit. That shit was hot when they were showing them DJs in that little spot there.
Hmm.
Remember that
Yeah.
scene?
Yes,
Oh, you
sir.
know, yeah, yeah. So it was like that. The cats man were were doing their thing, man, and that was a hell of a movie. A lot of people slept on Tupac's skills as an actor.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome cat, man. Awesome cat, man.
He was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But this June 28th gonna be hot, baby. It's gonna be really, really hot. Everybody coming with master skills and doing their thing, man. I'm gonna love it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm feeling it. I wish it was tomorrow, man. To come out and have some fun, man. I would love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. You know. But
But
that's what we
you
doing.
know what? I remember like when I saw my first year. You had been doing it for several years, but this was my first year out there. And when I saw Sedan up on stage, I saw the Clientele Brothers and stuff rocking the house, and they represented. And because Sedan is tall, so he's
Mm-hmm.
commands presence. He's got presence immediately, but then he's got bars to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Almighty Force Brothers, you know,
Yeah.
they got up there and they brought the house down, that kind of thing. So it was a hell of an affair. And you were like, "Yo, all right, G, good to you, man. Good looking out. Thank you." I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Thank you." You trying to like tell me like that's it? I'm not going nowhere. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You
Hey,
know.
Poncho,
So, but
my man,
you,
on the scene.
huh?
I talked to Poncho that he's supposed to be on the scene. That was my man from day one, man, Poncho.
Oh, yo, Pancho, that's what's up. Yeah. Uh, I had an incredible. I had a good time. I performed. I did my thing. And I was appreciative, man, because it gave me a chance to stretch out a little bit. As
Yeah.
a comedian, working in the daytime and then working cold like that. That's working cold.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult, but then again, like I said, it gave me a chance to get up there and stretch out.
That's a
So
good.
it was good for me.
Of course, it's to bring back memories, man. It's have fun with it, man. It's all about
See,
having
that's
the
what it's
fun.
all about. That's
That's what
key.
just a day about spring, just a day in Springfield is about having fun, doing things that we don't get a chance to do. There's really no old school spots, places to go, or really air out your laundry. To do your thing. So I'm just trying to bring this back and let it fly, baby. Just come out there and do your thing, man. Even if you're
No
not on
doubt.
the rock, even if you're not on the list of performers, you know, we may have 2 or 3 minutes to get you up there, let you do your thing. I don't have a problem with that early on. But when showtime starts, showtime start. You know,
Well, see, that's
that's
the thing. Uh, Comedy's tricky. People really, logistically don't have a true understanding, but that's not their job to truly understand. They come there to laugh. They come
right.
there to have a good time, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
As an artist, you gotta have an understanding of what you're doing and how you're doing it. And
Right.
I appreciate you too, all my fourth brothers. Big Shy, my brother, my man. That's Big
Oh,
Shy,
baby.
Big
That's
Rod,
my man.
and
Yeah,
Candy.
yeah.
And Lady Miz wants to remind us of the date, June
Oh,
28th.
it's
Yeah.
not Lady Miss,
And
Queen Lady Miss, baby. Get it right.
Queen, I always put the moniker there, Queen. And no doubt,
There you go. Yeah.
and yeah,
That's the
yeah,
most versatile woman I've met in my life.
you remember that day, man?
Telling you.
That it wasn't last year. It was hot. The year before last, yo, man, it was hot.
Wait a minute.
That was
George,
July.
but George, you wasn't there. One year was the hottest day in the summer. 105 degrees. We out there. That was
Damn,
madness.
that's what it
That
was
was
like.
fun.
That's what I'm talking about. I went up
Mhm.
that year. I was in all white, but
Okay.
yeah, I think that's the year. You somebody said you look like a Mississippi pimp. Is that the?
You wild boy, man. You wild boy.
Yeah,
You wild boy.
them kicks you had on that, them shits was fire. I'm like, damn, them
No, man.
shits. You was sharp. You was sharp. I
Man, just
can't
trying to
front
hold
on you that day. You was on. You
That's
was
that's
hitting
the
me.
that's the Harlem in me, baby. That's the Harlem in me. Can't get rid of the
Yeah,
Harlem.
no doubt. Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh,
But that was feeling good that day. As I'm feeling good now, going into this June 28th, man. Saturday's gonna be something from 12 to 8. Come on, all the vendors you want to get down, give me a call. 646-319-5837. Again, vendors 646-319-5837. Man, come on now. Come on, have some
Hold
fun.
on.
Be a
Let
lot.
me write that down and put it up. Let me do that. 1 second. Uh, let me see. Let me get it out there. Captions, not the ticker. And go lower third. Add. All right. What's the number again?
646-319-5837. Again, 646-319-5837. So I just wanted to come on and just keep everybody abreast of what's about to happen. And you're gonna see me on other podcasters as we get closer to the time, pumping it up, getting it ready, so we can have a full rostrum of bad hood entertainers, celebrities, or whatever have you, or we call it ourselves. Mikey D gonna be down. Oh, I forgot to say Mikey D name. Or did I say Mikey D? Mikey D,
Say it.
Lotto Picasso. Yeah. Sedan, the God of Sound. Yeah. Oh, MC Inequity. I didn't say him. He gonna be down. Man, it's gonna be a ball, man. It's gonna be a ball. It's gonna be a ball, man. I'm inviting the Disco Twins. I'm inviting DJ Vernon from King. I mean, it's gonna be serious business, man. It's
No
gonna be
doubt.
serious business. You know, it's gonna be hot, man. I try to do it in June where it's not so hot, cause July I can't take the heat. You know, June is a nice time. Right after
Yeah,
Juneteenth,
that
before the Fourth
one
of
day
July,
we
right
can
in
shoot.
between there, we catch them right there, baby. We gonna get them. Gonna have a ball. Gonna have our cook Lamika. She gonna cook for the celebs and for the hood celebs, and it's gonna be smashing, man. I mean, really, really smashing, man. And we want
So
George
is
and
are you
Lenny
gonna get on the
Vardo
mic?
and Van Silk to do his thing, man. Van Silk been going
Oh,
through
no doubt.
troubles. Eddie OJ, my man, been going through trouble, but they coming out, man. So that's why we got to make it sweet for all these guys who was sick, who's getting well, because we never know when the last time may come. So we gonna make it right, man. I'm gonna do this thing until the wheels fall off. I may do it till 70, 75. As long as I can keep on getting it, and we can do it, we gonna keep doing it, man. Because this community needs it. You'll bring your family, your friends, and bring your chairs and bring your hats, and come on, enjoy another day in Springfield Park, man. Hosted by George Mason and
And
Van
Van
Silk.
Silk.
Yes, yes, yes. We're gonna do that, man. We gonna have that ball, man.
Oh, we're gonna have the
Who's
pleasure
that?
of
My
having
birthday. That's right, George. It was your birthday, right, George?
it was
George.
when today's it was 2 days ago.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? My birthday was 2 days ago. Uh I don't know what happened. Like Karen says, you know, some technical events. Nothing, nothing, nada, nada, no, nada, nada, nothing, nothing, no. Uh,
Yo,
what's
George.
that?
Can't
Yo,
hear it.
can you hear me? I don't know with Chuck. Hopefully, my sound is coming across. Let's see if I got my stuff turned up. But yeah, Chuck got his point across. Can you hear me now? Hide messages. But it's all good. But yeah, he should log off and then come back in. Oh, we hear you. Okay, Karen, thank you. Craig says, let me make sure that I hit the gym so that I look like I did in 1980. Yeah, that's what I've been doing every day. I'm working out every day, baby. No doubt. Yeah, I done turned, you go another year around the sun. It's a hell of a thing. But I'm thankful. I, I don't know. They say go out and come back in. You know, in the witness protection program, I know you got a limited time to do this and to do that. They give you a certain amount of hours a day, like to work out, to go eat, and all this other stuff and shit like that. They didn't figure in for you to be on, social media, that type shit. Yeah, Almighty Force Brothers, they come on tomorrow night as well. AMF, Bars and Hoops, beautiful show. Old school. This is old school. This is all about old school. With Lady Miz, she's definitely got her thing going on with her and her husband. The silent assassin. Ray. Ray. With From the Ground Up Productions. Very professional fronts and everything. They do their thing. It's beautiful. This is all family in here. And Craig, your family as well, Cameron, everybody, Kim, Lisa, the boss lady, all family. It's all good. And so we had Chuck. Let's
But
see, I'm bringing back in. He bounced off. Can you hear me?
now I can. You can hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. I was
I guess
hearing you before.
I was talking to myself.
Nah. Everybody said that they heard me, and Lady Miss suggested that to you to do exactly what you just did.
Yeah, but I was
So
talking to
let's
myself.
let's make up.
You didn't hear me talking?
Heard you. We heard you.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? Okay.
yeah. I just I don't know where you're at in the country right now in the program.
I'm in the
You
man
know what I'm
cave,
saying?
baby. I'm in my man cave,
Oh, all right. Because I
hiding
was
out,
saying
man.
certain things like that witness protection program. I know
Yeah,
certain hours
yeah.
of the day you can't be visible. I feel like that's why the bucket hats and all that. I get it. You feel me?
I'm just a
I
hat
get that.
man. That's all. I
No, I
love
know
hats,
that.
man.
Listen,
I'm a
back in the
hat
day,
man. To the day I
I
die, I
remember
love
when we, I
all
remember
kinds
when
of
we went
hats.
to the slave theater with
Oh God.
uh my man Khalid Abdul Doc with Khalid Abdul
Yes, yes, yes,
Muhammad
yes,
in
yes,
that
yes, yes.
big roll. When we used to roll around town in that Rolls, he had
Woo,
all the
baby.
classic Rolls Royce and
Oh
I
man.
still got pictures for them joints and stuff.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
saw
we
it on
had
your
fun, man.
Facebook. I saw your Facebook with the rolls.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That Doc Collar we used to take that Rolls and go all over the world, man. Did many things with that Rolls Royce. And
That's
when
like
he'll
with
go away on
Mustafa,
trips.
like when Mustafa was with you when you were up there in
Yes, sir.
145, like
Yeah.
right off of what's that, Lennox or Seventh Ave? That was Seventh Ave,
That,
right?
that that was on Lennox. I had the real estate office right there on 140th and Lennox, down in the
Was that
basement.
40th or 45th? Weren't you on
40. No,
that was 40th.
140th. Right across the street from
That
Rich
was
Porter, where
that was
Rich
the
Porter used to
downtown
be.
side though, right?
Yeah. Where Rich
Yeah.
Porter used to be, all the gangsters used to be. I had an office right in smack there in the middle. Yeah,
Listen,
come a long way,
and
man. Come a long way.
you come a long way. You've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
in the real estate game for a minute as well.
Yeah,
You've been
30,
doing
30,
your thing with
37
that.
years, man. 37 years, man.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah. 37 years managing, sales, leasing.
Because I know,
Yeah.
um, I know you were telling me about something about the different programs and stuff like that. You were supposed to send me some. See what Lady Miz Queen, Lady Miz Miz. I was
There you
calling
go.
Miz. It's
That
Miz. He said he
she's
should
my
log
idol.
off and log back
Yo,
in.
yo, George, she's my idol, man. I mean, I look up to Miz, boy. No matter how high I get, I still be looking up to Miz. Miz got it going on, man. She wear many,
She got
many,
it
many,
going
many, many
on.
hats.
Listen,
Yeah,
she's a stone cold hustler. Stone
yeah.
cold. You already
That's
know.
a that's a Renaissance woman, man. She doing her thing, man. That's
Stone
why I love her
cold.
on the show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up on
And
her
then
show soon.
she yo, her album, The Sound of My Pen. Have you checked any of those?
Oh, what? Man, I listen to that every morning. The song.
Okay.
She be dropping the flavors, baby. I
Yeah.
hope she do one at the show, man. I hope she do one.
My boy Eddie OJ said clientele will represent. Trust God, baby. We're good. No higher help necessary, no doubt. Yo, Chuck, yeah, I love you, brother. And I thank you for being on and for updating us and then close it out with whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. It's all you.
On June 28th, Saturday, June 28th, you gonna get Chucky Chuck, the Prince of Luck, and this y'all must confess. Cause when y'all hear me on the mic, you know I'll be about the best, well, the most talked about. Man, I ain't going no further. I'll stop right there.
Nah, 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 nah. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was shocked like that first year because I didn't know you had that skill, that ability. Because I didn't know I was uptown. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I met you in a whole nother different
Yes,
environment.
sir.
I auditioned for you, for Doc, for Phyllis, and
Well,
for Mr.
that
Beatty.
was
You feel
I
me?
retired then. That was gone. I was when you saw me, that was in we talking about now 90, 91, 89, 91. I left the game so long. I left the game in 82, 83. So doing promotions,
Okay,
doing
okay.
promotions and real estate then, you know, that's what I was doing. And so yeah, that's when you met me that time. On more or less the business level, my real estate office, doing real estate and promoting. We had a club.
Well, I came up here in 140th later on,
Yes, yes,
after I was down with the Cotton Club,
hmm
with Thursday Night with Phyllis.
yes,
That was your production with Mr. Beat and the Cotton Club in there,
right.
and then yeah, then we went to the Audubon. Was that the art? What was that? With Ice
Oh,
Cube and all them
see,
cats, man. The Brand
a lot of
Nubians.
people don't know. We did me Malachi. We had a leather store called Bell Fashion.
You had Doc.
Yeah,
Wasn't Doc
and
involved with that as
Doc.
well?
We had Black Youth there. You was there. We had like the Armory holds like maybe 15,000.
10, 12,000
We had
people, some shit like
we
that.
had 10,000, at least 10,000 people there. We had African Bambaataa and the dancers. We had
Oh
Khalid
yeah,
Muhammad.
forget about it.
I flew Ice Cube. His name is O'Shea Jackson and the Lynch Mob to New York. We had Guru, Brand
Brand
Nubians. I mean,
Nubians.
we did a Black Youth Day. It was
The
$10 a
X
watch. It
Clan.
was awesome.
Do they know who the X Clan
Yeah, the
is?
X Clan.
They remember
Oh
who the X
man,
Clan was?
and what's his name? The father of the X Clan was Sonny Carson. Sonny Carson.
Sonny
We had
Carson.
Al Sharpton. We had everybody there. It was stupid. That's when I didn't know my potential in Harlem like I did in Queens. But my potential when I did that, I said I could do anything. And then we came back and we did the Apollo with Public Enemy. And then so we had a ball, man. Me and Malachi with the Bell
I remember
Fashion.
with Al Sharpton. I did his 39th birthday.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hosted his 30 at the Cotton Club.
And people don't know.
And then remember we had Arthur Maddox,
Yeah,
not C. Vernon Mason, but his partner at that time when they got the spot.
right.
Right? They had that problem that we ran into.
Yeah, with Tawana Brawley. And then
Right. Right.
people don't know that when we used to do clothes for Father MC and Jodeci, you look at their early videos, that's all Bell's Fashion, our production. And that's when I met
Right.
Missy Elliott. She was in the group called Sister, was four of them. Devontae brought her in,
Uh-huh.
and she was a bigger girl than what she was. And we made clothes for her. Tupac come in the store, get a hat. LL come in the store, get a hat. And we had all the celebs coming in there because that's where you had Mark 25 across the street. Everybody would go to Mark 25 and see my man, what's his name? Who sell the flyest gold in the world. Oh man, what was his name? I forgot his name. And he was in Mark 25, different restaurants, and every 25th Street was 25th Street then. That's when they had the vendors on the street. Everybody
Back
was
then.
making money.
Yeah.
It's stupid, man. It was stupid back then.
Oh,
Until
AJ Lester,
AJ Lester. Hey, what about my man, the main
that
man?
old player Scott.
Who's the main man, underground
Oh,
man?
you talking about with what's the name? Tyson and Mitch Green had that fight.
Exactly. That was all rigged and showed up
So you
because they,
talking about
they had the news there waiting for it. Dapper Dan, yeah. Dapper
the
Dan. That's
dance.
what it was
That's
at.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Harlem for you, baby. That's Harlem. So
Uptown. Hang out.
we're gonna bring it back and we're gonna have remember June 28th, Saturday, June 28th, from 12 to 8. We're gonna get down with the get down, bro. And I'll see y'all soon, man.
Jake
Back
the
with an
Jeweler.
update.
Is that Jake the Jeweler? Is
Who?
that who it is? Jake the Jeweler? Lady
Jake,
Miss say
no,
Jake the Jeweler.
Jake the Jeweler was downtown, but my man, he had a black guy
We talking
named
about uptown.
Jake the Jeweler on 47th
Yeah.
Street. That's before Jake the Jeweler. Before Jake the Jeweler, we had my man. His
Right.
name was Bond or Ben. His name was. He had all the jewelry in the world. All the rappers
Yeah, that
used to
was
come up to
Ben.
Mark 25. Way before Jake the Jeweler came. Jake the Jeweler came like 96, 97. Then they took over everything. Jews. They took over everything. Everybody come down and see them. But yeah,
But
we
Jake
had it
was
going on in the Bronx.
downtown. Jake was
Yeah,
up. Jake
47th
was
Street.
white. That was that white, on
Yes.
that white order.
No question. And he had all the rappers wrapped around his finger, man. Yep. So, it is what it is. Right? But we did our thing and coming to do it again. And I appreciate Lady
Let me
Miz
ask you.
and
You gonna be
Karen.
on the mic? You gonna
When?
be on the mic
I'm
on
performing
June
live,
28th,
brother.
baby?
I'm
Huh?
performing. I'm opening up the show.
Yo, you want me
And
to
I'm
write something for you? You want me to, I'm
that's
a
all right,
producer.
brother. I know you are,
Oh
baby.
shit.
I want you. I
That's
want you
fucked
right for
up.
yourself. I'm opening up
No,
because I'm bringing Ray Vaughn, Johnny Wall after me from Harlem, and then the Clientele Brothers and the Albino Twins, and then the Mighty Force, and then man, who else? Everybody. There's so many people gonna be there. It's gonna be a ball, man. It's gonna be a ball, man.
no
Just come
doubt.
on
That's what's
and
up.
enjoy yourself, man. Appreciate you, George
No doubt.
Mason. You'll see me
I
on the
love
next
you. I
Hot
appreciate you
Podcast
too.
talking about June 28th. I'll have more detail. Who is the headliner then? I thought I have it now, but I'm still negotiating.
When
But
we come
we'll
back
get to
and
it.
I'm going to Dominican Republic next Saturday, and I'll be back, and then we'll talk
You mean
about
hunt? You're gonna hunt 68th Street in Amsterdam?
Washington, Washington Heights. Yo, man, when I was out there, I used to bounce around, man. 145 Broadway, then go uptown, right there, 158, and St. Nick right in there, man. Shit, you can smell the
Yeah, yeah.
cocaine in the air, bro. You
What?
already know, huh?
Spanish Raymond had that shit locked.
Locked, locked.
Locked down. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. Yeah. Anyway, George, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
no
And I'll
doubt.
see you on the 28th, brother. Be there,
On the
be square.
28th. No doubt.
Yeah.
But we do
My
it
man.
before then, like I say, to give an update, the progress. God bless. That's Chucky Chuck in the house. Chucky Chuck.
What you say?
Yeah, no doubt. So, yo, that's what's up. It's all good. You close it out. So, anything you want to leave it with, brother? Huh? Is Lee coming? Pancho Lee? That's Chucky Chuck. God bless. Yo. And it's all good. And Lady Mia, she said 9. He said Dapper Dan. And some more peace, everyone. God bless, peace. And I want to leave you guys on a good, positive note. Stay positive. Stay safe. Stay on the upside. Stay on the right side of the positive thing. You can't be in wrong if you're doing the right thing. Huh? Can't. You love someone? Tell them you love them. Or let them know. Persistence overcomes resistance all the time. I want to thank Chucky Chuck. All right. Don't forget June 28th. June 28th is Springfield Day from 12 to 8. Okay? Write that down on your calendar, baby. It's all good. No doubt. Enjoy the rest of your evening and the rest of your week. May God bless you all. Hey, come on.